Hello everyone and namaste. Welcome to today's webinar on creating women sales champion. First of all, let me wish you all happy Women's Day. I'm your host Vrindavani Mulik and I'm joined today by our guest trainer and coach in sales, Dr. Arunaagiri Mudaaliar. Welcome back everyone. He is in the field of imparting his knowledge to several corporates and entrepreneurs for last 3 decades and more. Dr. Arunaagiri, we are excited to have a great discussion about why women entrepreneurs should aspire to become sales champions and how they can achieve this goal. In the fast-paced and a competitive world of business, sales champions are becoming increasingly essential. So let's dive into some of the key questions surrounding this topic. Are you ready, Dr. Arunaagiri?
Yes, at the onset, Vrinda and Nair sir, thank you very much for inviting me over here. And also it's a pleasure and honor to be present here and discussing on this very important topic of creating sales champions out of women. I think a concept which is very close to my heart. And also I feel it's got a lot of relevance in today's society. Yeah. Thank you, Vrinda. Yes.
Thank you. Let's start with the first question. Why should women entrepreneurs aspire to become a sales champion?
Awesome. I think it's a very relevant question, Vrinda. See, as a business coach and a business mentor and also a first hands-on business entrepreneur, it's a known fact that selling is the most important business skill. It is the most important personal skill. It is said that sales is equal to income, and income is what business is. So when you have no income, there is no business. So the entire fulcrum of business is based upon your sales. So it is very important that any entrepreneur, if he really wants to survive and thrive in this VUCA world, he needs to be proficient in this one skill of selling. Because selling is what provides you income and profit. Vrinda, let me also emphasize one more thing. On the basis of my research over the last 3 decades, it has come to my notice that almost about out of 10 new entrepreneurs who start off on an entrepreneurship journey, 8 of them close down the first 3 years, and another 1 or 2 of them also perish in the subsequent 2 or 3 years. That means the mortality rate of entrepreneurship is very high. And on a deeper research, it has been found that one of the main reasons why entrepreneurship fails in most of the first generation entrepreneurs is mainly because there is not enough profits generated out of their sales. So sales is one important thing. And second important thing is to generate profit in the business, which is, in my opinion, the most important ingredient for keeping an enterprise alive. So I, for one, believe that if we really want to promote women entrepreneurship, or I would say entrepreneurship in general, it is very important for entrepreneurs to really learn, understand, and master this important skill of selling, and thereby have the ability to generate profit. Because I, for one, believe that if you know how to sell, if you know the art and science of selling, you will be also able to generate good revenue. That is the top line. And also the bottom line of increasing your profit. So this is what is my earnest desire and my appeal is that women entrepreneurs should learn about selling, which unfortunately is many times missed out or ignored, and because of which the very huge penalty is paid. So that's the reason why I, for one, strongly believe in what you, Vrinda, rightly asked the very first question. And that again is the foundation why they need to be sales champions, for them to generate sales, and that too profitable sales, in order to ensure that their enterprise not only survives but also thrives. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah. To sustain in this business world, women should learn the art of sales. Now, let's move to the next question. Why are women sales champions the need of an R in the business or entrepreneurial world?
As both you and Nair sir rightly said, more and more women are coming into the entrepreneurship field. And also in the corporate life, you can see that many of the women are climbing up the ladder and occupying very, very important positions. I, for one, strongly believe as an entrepreneur and as a sales trainer and a business development coach that every member of an organization need to be sales oriented, which in other words, it means he has to be customer centric. And I, for one, believe that person to really appreciate the importance of customer, he should know the nuances of selling, because the salespeople are the people who really know the pain of generating or identifying, targeting, nurturing, and also ensuring that profitable customers remain as a part of team, thereby generating those important sales and profit on a continuous basis. So it's my belief that in today's generation, women entrepreneurs should all the bit more, because for quite some time, sale has been invalidated, and more so, it has been felt as if this is a male-dominated domain. According to research, 76% of top sales champions are all men, and women are a minority in that. I, for one, believe that for women to get their due recognition, due reward, they need to also focus on learning, understanding, and mastering the art and science of selling, and thereby become those stars of every corporate in order to ensure that they also have a very bright future in their career. And when they have their own enterprise, they are able to really handle, and they're able to manage, and they're able to nurture their organization to higher glory. So that's the reason why, what you just said, it's very, very important to nurture sales champions in women.
Agreed with you. Women sales champions can help drive growth, innovation, and customer satisfaction.
Absolutely.
So how can companies benefit from having more sales champions at the top?
Yeah. See, as I said, it is my belief, Vrinda, in my own training career of last 3 decades, and also running a successful and a profitable enterprise, it has been my belief, which I said you earlier as well, that every member of a team has to be sales centric. If anybody asks any member of a team, they should say that, yes, I'm also proud to be a salesperson, because as I said in the earlier, sales is equal to income, and income is equal to business. No sale, no income, no business. So it's important that in every enterprise, this particular mindset is created. But again, Arinda, on the basis of the research done of the companies which have failed, it has been found that one of the main reasons why many companies fail is mainly because some departments or some part of their percentage of their members were ignorant about sales, or they were consciously avoid being in the sales-centric mind. And what I mean by sales-centric mind is they become apathetic to their customers, and that can lead to any good business even going on a downward fall. Let me again quote you one of the statistics. 68% of your profitable customers, Vrinda, are lost from an enterprise mainly because of the attitude of indifference by any of their staff members or any of their associates of the organization. So just imagine 68%. And people like you and me who have been sales-centric or customer-centric, we know how difficult it is for any organization to identify, acquire, retain, and nurture profitable customers. If you don't have profitable customers, you have neither have income nor you have any profit, and which can all lead to a disaster.
Rightly said. Women sales champions can help create a culture of excellence and drive revenue and increase customer loyalty.
Absolutely.
But what are the key qualities that women entrepreneurs need to possess to create a successful sales career?
See, selling, let me again tell you the relevance and the context why we are talking about sales champion. As we all know today, there is a huge upsurge of technology. The rate of change in the today's economy, in the today's personal and professional life is humongous. It is said that rate of change is equal to the rate of change in your information multiplied by rate of change of technology, multiplied by rate of change of competition. So that is a humongous amount of speed at which things are changing. In spite of this, again, research has proven, Vrinda, that there are going to be two skills which are going to be paramount irrespective of whatever may be the technological and the VUCA change is happening in the world. The two important skills which are going to be invaluable for decades to come is one is people skill, second is selling skill. These are two going to be relevant in all the decades to come in the future as well, in spite of all the technological advancement and the competition and the informational change is happening. So that is why it's very, very relevant that because ultimately, remember, business is run by human beings. Okay, and human beings are not going to be ever going to be removed out of the business ownership and the business organization. So ultimately, there has to be a human interaction in any business at some point of time. Okay, this artificial intelligence, all these computers, all this robotics, they all can replace human beings to a certain extent, but it cannot displace the total human beings from all the business enterprise. Ultimately, they will have to be manned, led by human beings. And when human beings come into picture, both these aspects are going to be very, very important. So that's the reason why this particular topic has got a lot of relevance for women entrepreneurs. I would say entrepreneurs in general. Okay? Because if any human being neglects developing people skill and selling skill, is not really going to thrive in the future VUCA world.
Strong communication and relationship building skills are crucial for success in sales. Speaking of training and development, what role does it play in creating women's sales champions?
Yeah, very, very important question, Vrinda. In fact, this has been one of the crux points which we have been always emphasizing in all our training programs and all our communication. But there is a formula which I totally adhere to. It's called as PD is equal to BD. Your personal development is equal to your business development. Okay? Your business cannot thrive, especially if you're an entrepreneur. It cannot go to a next level of proficiency, competency, and profitability unless you yourself are able to take yourself to the higher level. Okay? So your personal development in a holistic manner, physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, all of them I would take into consideration, has to be continuously worked upon. Now, in that, I would say the important skill of even salesmanship or selling, which is again art and a science. There are a lot of myths about salesmanship or selling, which is quite prevalent in the environment. Unfortunately, because it has never been a part of a curriculum, of an educational curriculum. And that's the reason why when children walk out of their colleges with their degree in hand, they find it difficult to even get the job which they aspire for, because they're not able to sell themselves or their self-aspirations to the prospective employees. So what I mean to say is training and development is going to be an invaluable part for any person who really wants to thrive in the future world. And for that, especially if you want to learn selling, you need to, again, master the fundamentals of selling, which is nothing but a science, and then consciously practice it in the actual life in order to ensure that you are able to understand, you're able to master those skills, and thereby ensure your happiness, your fulfillment, your progress, not only in your professional life, even in your personal life. Because I, for one, believe in that every human being, in whatever role you play, whether you are playing a role of a son or a parent or a friend or a neighborhood or a society member, we are all involved in continuous process of selling your ideas, selling your thoughts, selling your viewpoints to one another in a continuous fashion. And every human being wants to have the power of persuasion and influencing in their life. And if they have the competency to do that, they automatically are able to have a more fulfilled and a satisfying life. But unfortunately, I, for one, believe that many of the human beings, they learn this by default. They don't really attend a proper scientifically designed training program to understand the nuances of this of the selling as a skill, and thereby are not able to. They are in the rediscovering the wheel, and thereby waste a lot of time and opportunity in their life. So that's what is my take on that. So I, for one, would believe that everyone should consciously invest their time, effort, money, and resources to master the science and the heart of both the people skill and selling skill, which has got a lot of commonality.
Understood. Training and development can help women entrepreneurs hone their skills.
Yes.
Stay up to date with the latest industry trends and build strong network of mentors and peers. It's important to invest in yourself and your team if you want to achieve greatness in sales. Now, let's talk about some of the common challenges faced by women entrepreneurs in developing as sales champions, and how can they overcome them? How can they overcome their challenges?
See, absolutely, you're right. In fact, Vrinda, you're getting pointed out rightly, because today the world has become a global village, right? And there's competition from everywhere. And your progress is going to depend upon how strong is your competitor. And for you to be one step ahead of your competition and be in a position to really attract good, profitable, potential customers, you need to constantly keep on developing yourself, developing in all areas of life. I mean, I wouldn't say only selling, but in all the 7 functions of management, which starts from marketing, sales, operation, HR, finance, R&D, management, and so on and so forth. In all areas, they need to continuously keep on using technology, owning up their people's skill, so that they are at the cutting edge and they are able to become more productive, more resourceful. In fact, there are 4 attitudes which I would strongly recommend every entrepreneur should constantly emanate. They are being alert, curious, responsive, and resourceful. These are the 4 traits which is going to help entrepreneurs really convert this half opportunity, into full scale profitable business. So today's world is full of these competitions. So until you are one step ahead of it, you will not be able to sustain yourself in this very, very fast changing world. In fact, Vrinda, if I, as an entrepreneur, we all know the challenges we went through during COVID. I'm in the, one of my businesses is in soft luggage. You'll be quite surprised to know, out of the 10 businesses which were running in soft luggage business, 8 of them closed down during COVID. Only about 10 to 15% survived. And this is not only the case with the soft luggage industry. In many of the other parallel industry also, the similar was the fate of companies who were not having the right mindset, who were not able to invest in their resources on their manpower development. They were not able to have the open-minded to adopt technologies as per the requirement, and thereby ensure that they are able to keep up with the customer's expectations. So that has been the real reality, which all of us have gone through in the last 3-4 years that we all faced. And I'm sure the point which you mentioned about has got relevance in this aspect as well. And for all you know, there may be many such catastrophe like COVID happening. Nobody expected the Ukraine-Russia war to happen. And Ukraine-Russia war, which came as a sequel to COVID, again has led to a lot of challenges for many of the industries. So such disruptions are going to be a part of the entrepreneurial scenario. So we have all to be ready for all these challenges.
Agree. We should all be ready for the challenges. So what coaching strategies can women entrepreneurs use to develop their sales team into sales champions team?
Again, a good point. In fact, Vrinda, as you rightly pointed out, as I've been repeating it quite often in my answers, it is my belief as a hands-on entrepreneur and also as a coach for the last, a coach and a trainer for business development and more so for sales. I, for one, believe that every entrepreneur should inculcate this culture of every member being customer-centric or sales-centric. Right from the person, your security guard till the top person has to realize the importance of generating. I always tell this is a definition as for business. I say identify profitable customers, acquire the profitable customers, nurture the profitable customers, and ensure that you are able to constantly retain and nurture. Identify, acquire, retain, and nurture profitable customers. And to do all these 4 steps, Vrinda, you require every member of your organization to be fully involved in the process. For that, my suggestion, my advice to the entrepreneurs is first learn to sell, learn to teach the team to sell with systems, accountability, and code of honor. So this is one of the important formula we use for developing this culture of sales or customer centricity in organization. I'll again repeat, every entrepreneur, male or female, and more so the female, because they are coming into the business with a lot of challenges, they should remember, learn to sell, learn to teach the team to sell with systems, accountability, and code of honor. If they can keep this as a formula and continuously keep on coaching. If they want profitable sales, they want good customers, they want to retain good customers, the leader themselves has to take the step forward, because people don't follow what you say, Vrinda. Your team will follow what they see. If they see that you as an entrepreneur have the focus on profitable customers and how to identify, retain, nurture, and take them to the next level, others will automatically follow. Okay. But if you are allergic to sales, I promise you, okay, and you depend on 1 or 2 of your guys to sell, I promise you, you are on a very, very slippery pitch. And any such challenges like COVID, which is going to be quite common in the future, you're going to be in a very slippery ground. And that's where 80% of the mortality happened during the COVID time. I hope you can relate to me.
Yes. I totally understood. The continuous learning and improvement culture is very, very important.
Yeah.
So let's move to the next question. What role does communication presentation play important in becoming sales champion?
Yeah, in fact, I believe in this one statement: the quality of your life, Vrinda, is the quality of your communication. And communication, again, is a science and a art. And you need to understand the various nuances of communication. And in communication, the most important thing is not your speaking. It's about listening, and listening with empathy, listening with anticipation, listening with noting the trend in the market. And all these are very, very important nuances which everybody needs to understand. And so 80, they say God consciously gave you 1 organ to speak and 4 to listen. Okay, you can hear with your ears and your eyes. So your proportion of your communication should be 20% speaking, or I would say not only speaking, asking relevant questions, and 80% is about listening. Okay, so that has to be the proportion. So a leader has to be a good listener, especially an entrepreneur. And women are blessed; they are generally good listeners, so they can understand what I'm talking about. Of course, next important thing is the presentation skill, which again is a skill which can be mastered provided you get trained. And we both are in Toastmasters. There are organizations like this who are doing a great job in terms of helping people to improve their presentation skill. And sometimes, you may have the best of things with you, but unless until you are able to showcase them, you're able to communicate to them, to your prospective customers in a proper manner. That's what is enabled you to get the buy-in and thereby the profitable sales from your customer. So this has to be again owned up, that has to be developed, practiced, mastered, and thereby you are able to make your every presentation, every communication effective. So communication, as you rightly said, Vrinda, I'm totally with you. It's again a very, 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 very important element of any organization. So you need to ensure that your communications are powerful, relevant, and to the point, and consistent, in order to ensure that all your prospective customers know what you are doing and they get attracted to your offerings and thereby generate for you those continuous sales. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Toastmasters has played important role in communication and presentation skills development. So effective communication can help build trust and rapport with the customer, while compelling presentation can help close deals.
Yes.
So what one piece of advice would you give to other women hoping to develop an advanced career in sales?
First and foremost, Vrinda, I would say that, first of all, learn to love selling. Understand the context behind selling. Many people, unfortunately, they feel that, nobody wants to be called a salesperson. I'll be very frank with you. In my organization, where we have around 100 people working for us, I always say I'm the first salesperson. So first of all, call yourself, be proud to be involved in sales. People say, no, I'm in marketing, I'm not in sales. Marketing only gives the leads. Leads have to be converted into revenue. That's where your selling skill comes into play. Like you may spend lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of rupees or crores of rupees on generating leads. But if you're not good in converting those leads into revenue, this entire expense in marketing is absolute zero. So it is very, very important for people to understand the difference between marketing and sales. Marketing only gives you a lead. It doesn't give you revenue. Revenue happens when that leads are converted by competent salespeople into profitable revenues. So I would strongly recommend every woman entrepreneur to appreciate the importance of selling. Appreciate the importance of what sales brings to your organization. That is revenue, profit, income, which is what is going to sustain your organization. And then, as I said, that formula, which I said, Vrinda, which you would appreciate, learn to sell, learn to teach the team to sell with systems, with accountability, and with code of honor. And if you can imbibe this particular formula, which I'm talking about, I can promise you, whatever may be the adverse challenges in the business environment, you would still be able to survive, sustain, and thrive in any business environment. And here's a person who's a clear-cut example, of course, I know. And I want to also tell you that, my wife, who's a equal partner, in fact, she's got more percentage in my business. She has been a great example for our organization of how it is important to have a sales champion. In fact, she's so very focused. In fact, all my top clients, even today, after about 20 years, most of them have been identified, acquired, nurtured by my wife, and she's a top salesperson. I'm sure if you meet her, you say, yeah, she's so quiet. She looks to be an introvert. But boss, no, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be a Bolbachan. You don't have to be a constant speaker. Blah 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 blah. No, you can be a quite serious, focused entrepreneur. Who's able to identify, acquire, retain, and nurture your profitable customers, and which is what is ultimately business all about. Am I right, Vrinda?
Yes, absolutely.
That's what it is. So, in fact, you want to meet a sales champion? Meet my wife. She's one.
Sure. We'll meet. Simply put, never stop learning and growing. Now let's talk about how you can build a sales champion.
See, as I said, Vrinda, I'm happy that we are touching upon sales champion because people discount this word sales and salesmanship, and because of which they pay a very, very, very huge price. As I said, 9 out of 10 organizations close down. Why? Because they don't have profitable sales. Revenue is not there. Kharcha ho raha hai. Because even in the balance sheet, by sales, you have the revenue in, right? And on the right side is all the expenses. Just imagine if this becomes zero, all the expenses will make you bankrupt. That's what happens in most of the organizations. That's why it's very, very important, Brinda, for every woman entrepreneur to cultivate this culture. Because see, culture is important. I always remember, I always say this. Between culture and strategy, it is the culture which is more important. Culture is the way of doing things, the way the company thinks, acts, and executes. I always say this particular slogan, Vrinda. If your culture and if your strategy are in unison, you can eat your competition for breakfast. But if your culture is not in alignment with your strategy, then your culture will eat your own strategy for lunch. Okay, got the point? So all the best of strategy you may get from the best of the world, consulting company, but if the culture of your organization is not there, all the best of strategy will just go to waste. So always remember, build a culture of ownership, build a culture of total responsibility, build a culture of customer centricity, build a culture of profitable sales. And if you have all these 4 things in place, I promise you that you will be able to build any organization which will thrive. I, for one, also say this, Vrinda, the product is not important. Your culture is important. It is not in what you do business, how you do business is important. And how you do business comes from your culture. In fact, you can come to our team, our Pacific Trends, where I don't have any MBAs. I don't have any, many of them are not even graduates. But we have been over a period of time able to build a culture where, in spite of many challenges which our company has gone through, COVID was one. Before that, 2 years before, my entire factory got flooded because of that heavy rain in July 28th in Bombay. My entire factory was flooded. Okay, 2 years earlier, one big consignment of ours worth almost a couple of crores got rejected. Okay, so every 1-2 years, our company has been facing one or the other calamitous situation. But I'm proud to say, Vrinda, because of the culture, because of this aspect which I talked about, total responsibility, ownership, sales centricity, customer centricity, we have been able to ward off the challenges, and still we are surviving, and in another word, we are thriving. And many times it is not, I'm also not present there. No, as you know, my passion is training. I train wherever in India and abroad. And many times I'm not even there physically, but still I'm proud to say, out of the 100 orders, almost 99 to 100 orders go on time. And there has never been any challenge in terms of quality or delivery, or for that matter, even our working capital cycle or cash flow. So all that it comes down to is culture. So I hope my suggestion, my advice, and my own sharing from my own life is build a culture of responsibility, ownership, customer centricity, and profitable sales.
Since we are talking about the culture, how can women entrepreneurs create a sales culture that motivates and empowers their sales team?
Good. In fact, the only way in which you can imbibe or inculcate this particular culture is to recognize every good effort done by any of your members on the field of selling. And also one more thing is teach them. See, one more thing which I am very sad to know, especially I'm not very, I would say sad, is about people consider training and development, learning and development as an expense. And this is the reason why, Vrinda, many of the entrepreneurs, they don't want to spend any money, neither on themselves nor on their team. And they feel that untrained people is better than trained people, which is the biggest fallacy in this world. Okay, remember, untrained people can be very, very expensive because they may not be able to capitalize on the opportunities available in the market. And more so, if you yourself are having a redundant mind, or you're very status quo in terms of your development, again, you will have challenges even to address the various VUCA challenges which is happening in the world right now. You will get anxious, you will get fearful, and automatically you will not be able to rise up to the occasion. So my strong suggestion is build a culture of training and development. Build a culture of constant growth. For that, if you have to spend money on good training, do it. Training is never an expense, it's an investment. And the ROIs, return on investment on training, can be the highest. And I, for one, believe that each and every entrepreneur should spend some time on a daily basis or a weekly basis, and definitely on a fortnightly and a monthly basis, to share that learnings and experiences. What I do, Vrinda, is anytime, whenever I learn anything new, I immediately share with my team. And over a period of time, now, as you talk about atomic habits, this particular thing compounds, and this gives you a humongous amount of benefit. And this is one thing which I would strongly recommend. And when you share with your team team feels cared. And one more thing is, because you are sharing those good thoughts, good concepts, good distinctions, good principles, get more embedded in you. So it has got two-way effects. And one more thing which I can share from my own personal example is, when you invest your time teaching, sharing, developing your team, the attrition rate comes down. Your people will not leave you. Even if you're paying them less, they'll still stay with you, because human beings love to grow, love to develop, love to become a better version of themselves. And Vrinda, you have also attended some of my morning operational meeting, right? You must have seen every day we show them that 5 to 7 minutes clip, and everybody shares. And that is the reason why, in spite of so many challenges, and in an industry which in my case, there is a very, very less amount of the barriers of entry barrier, we still have been able to have a very, very good, profitable business. Sorry, your voice. Yeah.
The ongoing training and support is very, very important. That's what I understood. So what are the fastest and easiest ways to generate profitable sales?
See, yes, it's again a good point. Here is where the importance of networking is very important. Networking, they say your net worth depends upon your network. And I, for one, believe that women can be excellent networker, especially in the modern arena, because referrals has got a huge amount of benefit in terms of the less cost of acquiring customers. It is said that one referral is equal to 15 cold calls. So if you can really network with like-minded people in a good business organization, like, we have got BNI and many other referral organizations are there, or you can be a part of your industry association, or you can be also part of the women or enterprise associations which are available, and get in touch with other entrepreneurs who don't have a similar product, and help each other to cooperate, to coordinate, and thereby help give referrals to each other. And referral sales, Vrinda, enables you to cut the overall customer acquisition cycle by almost 70%. Okay? Normally they say it takes about 5 to 7 calls to get one first sale from a customer. But if you have a good referral, wherein the trust factor is built in, you may be able to cut that 5 to 7 calls to maybe 1 or 2 calls. The second call, you may be able to start your first business. Of course, subsequently it depends upon how well you deliver the promises which you make. But referral networking is the fastest way in which you can generate profitable sales. So it is always said as a thumb rule that if you really know how to network, how to generate referrals, quality referrals, in any business, in any new location, you need not go for a cold call after the first month in that business. You need not go for a cold call. You can ensure that one customer gives you, your customer can continuously keep on giving you further referrals, and using that referral loop, you can generate a pipeline of orders.
Strong relationship with your customer is very, very important.
Absolutely.
Let's take final question and then we'll keep this forum open for the question answer if audience is having any question. How can women entrepreneurs create a sense of ownership and accountability among their sales team members?
Yeah, here, what is very important is, I for one strongly believe sales people, sales commandos, as I call them commandos, they are people who are exposed to the cynicism, resignation, even I would say that sometimes emotional brunts from the customers, from the market in general. So I for one strongly believe that everybody has to be a little empathetic and also sympathetic with the challenges which salespeople grow. Okay, so you need to be, that's why it's very important to have a sales meeting, I would say at a frequency of every month, definitely preferable every 2 months, or definitely once in a quarter. Therein, you are able to acknowledge good effort done by your people. See, remember, whatever action, Vrinda, is recognized and rewarded gets repeated. I'll repeat again. Whatever action gets recognized and rewarded gets repeated. So even if a small sale is there, somebody has gone out of the way to get it, acknowledge that. And if it is possible, recognize them. And you must be knowing in our Toastmaster, every time you win a competition, everything, you are given that small cardboard, best evaluator, best table topic. What is that? That's just a recognition. But that recognition gives you a sense of self-esteem, self-worth, and it makes you again prepare more, right? And I'll be very frank with you, here it is. I keep it here in front of me in my workspace. Why? Well, every human being wants to be recognized or wants to be appreciated and if possible in front of others. So that is one way in which you can ensure that people are able to take the challenges of field working. Similarly, even in your organization, not necessarily that everybody needs to go into the field, but sitting in the office, using today's technology, you can definitely try to identify profitable customers, approach them, maybe give them a presentation even through the Zoom and digital media and try to acquire them. It is quite possible. It's quite possible. You need to know those science and the art of presentation. And all of them is today available through proper training or learning and development. So that's what I would strongly recommend, Vrinda, that this is the process in which you need to continuously keep on working on yourself and your team to ensure that you create a real strong, resilient team, which is able to keep the sales funnel on. Sales funnel should be on. Remember, it's always a sales funnel. New inquiries and leads have to keep on coming. And as we discussed in the earlier question, ask for referrals, ask for testimonials. In fact, today it is said that your sales call does not get complete after you get the full payment. Your sales call gets completed only when you get a testimonial from your customers. And as you talked about, the relationship with the customer will give you a testimonial when he is satisfied and happy. And then he will give you a testimonial. And that testimonial is going to be very, very useful for you as a social proof for you to attempt to get the next profitable customer. So this is how the loop goes on. And thereby you'll be able to be quite surprised that we can generate a pool of customers, profitable customers, who will ensure that your profitability, your income, your revenue keeps on ballooning. And that's where women are good. Women entrepreneurs have that natural empathy. They're more sensitive, they're more kinder, they're more caring. And because of these qualities, it can easily come to them. And that's where they should be the customer-facing persons. And if they are able to create that emotional bonding, I can promise you, your business is on a strong footing. Because remember, selling is an emotional contact game. And we human beings are highly emotional. All our decisions, Vrinda, we take on emotion, justify it logically. So once if somebody likes me as a person, then he will even compromise a little bit in terms of the other aspects of the product and services, and still would like to do business with people whom they like. Remember, selling is an emotional contact game, and all business decisions are taken emotionally first, and then subsequently they are justified logically. So if you can understand this aspect, that's where I strongly believe that women can be real powerful sales champions. And because of them being the sales champion, they can ensure that their organization always has a very good top line revenue growth, as well as bottom line high amount of profit. All that they require is to remove all those myths about selling and learn and master the art and science of selling, and thereby ensure that they're able to create a vibrant, profitable, and a progressive and profitable organization.
Recognizing and rewarding top performers can build a strong sense of camaraderie.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So now let's make this forum open for our viewers who would like to ask any question. Anybody would like to ask question, just raise their hands, virtual hand. I can see Manoj Kumar.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Manoj Kumar. Would you like to ask any question?
Very nice, Dr. Arunaagiri. This is a very nice thought-provoking things. Okay, so I just wanted to narrate one of the things which my mother used to work as a headmistress in the school, as well as she manages the house. So I was wondering that how much workload she used to handle, and the voice. We were around 4 siblings, and we used to tell her, yeah, at least some passionate word, lovely words you used to tell. Those commands like that, what she is in the school. So similar kind of command she do it at home also. So, and she takes care of the entire farming. We have a farming community.
Wow.
So a lot of things she used to carry on. So we were when we sit together and we used to tell her, so you, mom, you should not be in the school as a teacher's post. You should have been in the business. You should have started some business, and then you should have been a champion in sales or something like that. Okay. So actually, the opportunities, whatever ladies are getting, so that has to be good. Okay, and wide opportunities they have to. They are performing well, but only thing is that the learning, the coaching has to be there, so they can do wonders in the sales field.
Absolutely, Manoj, you're spot on that, because unfortunately there are some myths about selling. There are some myths about beliefs. Women are not good in money management. This is a myth, or they are not good drivers. See, these are all some of the old conditioning and beliefs that are there. And similarly about sales, if you're in a sales, now aadmi karega. No, boss. As I told you, it's an emotional contact game. Women are emotionally stronger. I was just thinking, I was just preparing for this talk, this particular conversation. See, women cry fast, right? because you are able to cry, you are able to let go your emotions. So you are able to be more stable, more centered. We sometimes men, we will say, "Naam, marad rota nahi hai." Arey boss, because of that, you are becoming an emotional junk. And because when the emotion goes up, intelligence goes down. So there are some of these parameters which has to be appreciated. That's the reason why women can be real sales champions. And sales champion means what? Boss, that means you are able to take your organization sales revenue top line up as well as your bottom line, because they are good in negotiation, they are good in identifying potential customers, and thereby ensure that the organization can really thrive. Am I right, Manoj?
Thank you. Thank you. Very nicely said, sir.
Pleasure is mine.
Any other questions anybody's having? You can switch on your video and ask questions,
Yes.
or you can raise your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Nair sir is here. You want to ask any question, or you will ask privately? We can.
Yes, I have that privilege of asking privately, but I'm really just wanted to say that, the topic today is developing women champions. And, champions don't get developed overnight. They require practice. And as we see in every field, champions, an Olympic champion gets years and years of practice. And he's into one Olympics. He may not win that time, but the next Olympics he's ready. So just like that, I think even women or men for that matter, everybody to become a champion, it's only practice and being on the field is what really matters. And today what we discussed and what I heard from Vrinda madam and Arunaagiri sir was a small masterclass in sales, if I could put it that way, because in a short while, everything was covered. Almost every aspect of sales was covered. And I just noted on a few.
Nair sir was very, very important. I think that's an important point Nair sir has brought out. He's about sales champions. Champions means it's a very close word is mastery. Nothing happens overnight. They say 10,000 hours of consistent practice is what makes a person master. That's what Nair sir was talking about. And this is what is very, very important, that for you to become a champion, you need to have that constant urge or hunger to keep on learning. And not only learning, put them into practice, again come up. And that is what will make you into a champion or a master or a person who is excellence personified, and thereby take you to the next level. Am I right, Nair sir?
Absolutely, sir, absolutely. Yeah. And I just noted down a few points which I just like to reiterate. Of course, it's, because I got once again present to so many lovely things. One is, of course, developing people skills and influencing skills and selling skills, of course. Without that, nothing will move on. PD is equal to BD, which we always talk about, and that's what will really make us go ahead. Selling, again, is art and science, power of persuasion and influencing. And as you said, these four important points of alertness, curious, responsive, and responsible, that goes a long way in making a success of whatever we do. The quality of the life is the quality of your communication. Then very, very pertinent questions.
Pankaj Kumar has raised his hand. He wants to ask something.
Yes, Pankaj.
And Kevin, you have asked it. Yeah, yes, Pankaj. Yeah, you have to unmute yourself. Unmute kar lijiye.
Yeah, this is Pankaj Kumar.
Hi, Pankaj.
Thanks for such a wonderful discussion. In fact, I'm a teacher by profession. I'm a management teacher. So I have one question. Normally we discuss three disciplines. One is sales and marketing, another is HR, and another is learning and development. Today we discussed also what is the importance in this. So just I want to know from the sales perspective, which is more important, HR or learning and development? I mean, if a student want to pursue something in that, everything is important as a teacher, I know, but I want a discrete answer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good question. In fact, human resource development and L&OD. They actually, human resource is the mother, and learning and development is a sub part of the whole thing. So today, human resource has got various other subparts like compensation, or they have got some, some of the compliances, and learning and development is one subpart of human resource. So if you're asking me a question, Pankaj, as to which one you can focus on, see, if you are interested in becoming a trainer, or you want to be somebody who's want to be associated with constant learning and development and imparting that to the team, you can choose after mastering into HR, or after getting into an HR department, you can opt for learning and development. Okay, so that is what is the normal line of the progress. And today I would like just to make one statement which I learned recently from my spiritual guru, Sadhguru. He says, human is no longer a resource, human is a possibility. Okay? So resources are finite, but possibilities are infinite. So, and that is what today most of the organizations are realizing, that if you have a good manpower, anything is possible. So always nourish good manpower, and thereby to ensure that your organization is able to face any challenges in the world. Yes, Pankaj, did you get the answer?
Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's conclude this webinar. In conclusion, I would like to say, when women entrepreneurs have the potential to become excellent sales champions with the unique skills, perspectives, and qualities, building a successful sales career requires a resilience, adaptability, communication skills, and continuous learning. By investing in training and development, setting goals, fostering a culture of collaboration and teamwork, and leveraging technology, women entrepreneurs can create a sales culture that motivates and empowers their sales team. By becoming a sales champions, women can not only achieve personal growth and success, but also drive revenue and create positive change in their organizations and industries. So let's continue to strive towards building a more diverse and inclusive sales landscapes and more women at the forefront of this virtual industry. With this, I would like to thank you, Dr. Arunaagiri, for his valuable time, imparting his knowledge and giving this very masterclass. Thank you very much. Now I would like to hand over this forum to Mr. Jagmohan Nair. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Vrinda, for some very incisive and pertinent questions. I'm sure that is, a long way, that will go a long way to help all our listeners to see how they can, put their business in the right track and grow, exponentially. Thank you for all those lovely questions. And thank you, sir, for this wonderful session that we had. And I'm sure we'll have many more of such sessions, and all participants or all listeners would be able to listen more to what comes from you. Thank you very much, and hope to see you soon again.
Thank you. Thank you, Nair, sir. Thank you, Vrinda, for the beautiful conversation we had. I think this is something which is very close to our art, and let us try to promote this more often. In fact, we will be having one offline training programs, which we are planning in the first week of May. So if anybody is interested, you can reach out to any of our team members, and we will ensure that your registration is done, and we'll be able to give you more insights into this important skill, business skill, and personal skill of selling, and thereby help you become a sales champion. Yeah. Thank you. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.